Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to today's reflection on Gurbani, this segment of a-sabad-a-day. The recitation is from Gujri Ki War, Mahalla Tija. Today is the 8th pauri. Has 2 saloks, followed by the pauri, the stanza. The first salok is as follows, and we will go line by line. Dhrig Tinha Da Jivia. Dhrig is cursed, shameful. Tinha Da, those, theirs. Da Jivia, so accursed is their life. Whose life? Jo har sukh parhar tyag de. Parhar is to forsake, to abandon. Tyag de is to renounce. So they go hand in hand. So those who have forsaken self-knowledge, har sukh, wisdom, renounced wisdom, and instead hung on to the ego, what happens to them? Dukh haume paap kamai. They accumulate the burden of the haume, paap, because it is fundamentally looking out in the wrong direction. So everything that you do in haume is accumulating this burden. Self-centered deeds, instead of acting out of wisdom, is nothing but a lot of hassle. And the mind that does this, which is the ordinary mind, most of us, it is called manmukh. Manmukh agyani maya mohe vyape. The manmukh, this is the self-centered mind that we are talking about, is agyani. It's ignorant. What is it ignorant about? Fundamentally, it is ignorant about its own nature. It doesn't know itself. It doesn't know who it is. It misidentifies with this thing called the ego, haume, which really does not have an existence, which is simply an abstraction that has been constructed over time and continues to be constructed over time. So there is this fundamental misidentification. And haume then has its own entanglements, attachments to this passing world. So when that happens, the Guru says, this entanglement robs them of the capacity to discern and discriminate. If you recall, we were talking about discernment in the previous pauri. The same theme, more or less, is continuing here. Self-willed, self-centered, conceited, egoic, however you want to call it, they are ignorant and they are moving about in darkness. So therefore, they don't know where they're going, essentially. And what happens then? They find no peace here or in the tomorrow to come. Halat palat oe sukh na paave. They find no peace or comfort. Ante gaye pachataye. In the end, all that is left for them is regret. Gur prasadi ko naam te aaye, tis haume vichon jaye. So how do you get rid of haume? It's very simple. Pay attention to and imbibe the wisdom through the Guru. The Guru gives you that intuitive knowledge, that awareness, non-dual awareness. It teaches you to see yourself as a non-dual being, as a non-dual awareness. Only the Guru can do that. So that is what you need to do. Nanak jis purab hove likhya, so Guru Charani aaye pai. Well, Purab hove likhya is often translated as predestined or written by destiny. In a sense, yes, because remember, we are creating our own destiny by the choices we make. So where we stand today is a result of the choices we have made in the past. So if you have been motivated in the past, you are bound to turn to the Guru to seek that wisdom. But if you're not, then you're not going to do that. But then again, the manmukh, that is to say us, manmukh udha kaul hai, is corrupt. Unda means upside down, reverse. It's standing on its head. Kaul, conduct. Its conduct is contrary to what it should be. That is the problem. And in that situation, the Guru says, Pagatana now. You can have no connection with wisdom when you are living in the ego. So that's the first thing that has to be discarded. And that's a realization, by the way. It's not a thing that you're going to pull out of yourself. And this manmukh, the Guru says, is governed by the power of Maya, illusion. And therefore their actions are all delusional. So it's a very fundamental, radical thing that the Guru is saying. It kind of shakes you down to your boots to think that you're radically mistaken about yourself. You're radically mistaken about how you're going about life. Tiska andar chit na pijai, mukh fika alao. Their mind is not pliable. It's not soft with wisdom. And their speech, as a result, is insipid and their words are empty. In other words, their words do not make an impression on anybody. Person who speaks with wisdom makes an impression. Oe dharma ralaye na ralan, una andar kood swao. Swao is their goal. They are not absorbed. They cannot live a life of wisdom, of virtue. They cannot practice virtue because they're rooted in falsehood. Nanak karta banat banai, manmukh kood bol bol doobe, gurmukh tare jap har now. So this is how the world is. The manmukh drowns by speaking falsehood, while the gurmukh, who turns to the Guru, crosses over. In other words, successfully navigates life. Bin buje, now is the party. Bin buje, vada fir paya, fir ave jai. So without this discernment, you're caught in this cycle of birth and death because your desires will bring you back, will bring the mind back. The mind tends to go back to desires that remain unfulfilled. Satgur ki seva na ki tai, ant gaya pachatai. Again, the regrets for not turning to the Guru. Apni kirpa kare gur paiye, vichon aap gavaye. So that is the way. Through grace, remove that ego. Trishna pukha vichon utre. Then what happens? Trishna, the fire of insatiable desires, will be put out. And peace and well-being will come in its place. For that reason, forever and ever, we should practice virtue, which means we should take on the qualities of the self. It is those qualities that put together constitute wisdom and will lead the way to success. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.